Hey guys, what is up? I hope everybody has been having a great day. Happy to be back with episode 25, part 1 of my golf vlog series, featuring the back 9 at Oakmont Country Club in Corinth, Texas. If you guys enjoyed the video, please do me a favor and click the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. We are less than 2,000 subscribers away from the 70,000 subscriber special, which will be a full 18-hole video at a world-class golf course. So if you guys want that video, please smash that subscribe button, and when we're at 70,000, I'll be sure to release it. So you guys can see I hit one so far right here off the tee that I actually ended up in the 18th fairway. But, I mean, at least it was a good miss. And this was probably about a week ago I filmed this, so I had a few loose shots here and there that are definitely a lot tighter now, that I've had some time to really work on stuff. But I still played pretty well. It's really been nice to finally get the opportunity to put the work into my game that I've always wanted to put into it. Because all my life I've always had something going on, and so I couldn't really focus on golf the way I wanted to. I'd have school when I was younger, and then obviously I had long drive, and I still do work on my long drive swing. In fact, I have a long drive event coming up in a week. But it's the first time I feel like my headspace has been somewhat clear in terms of what I'm trying to do, and that's definitely really helped me out to improve and really try to take advantage of the opportunity I have to really improve my game and get better this winter. And I know some of you guys are like wanting me to hit driver all the time, and you guys don't like when I hit 3-iron, and I get it. I'm going to do my best to be as aggressive as I can for you guys, because I know obviously you guys want to see me bomb it. And at the same time though, I am trying to learn how to score and play better golf. And those two don't necessarily always go hand in hand, but I will definitely, going forward, continue to be aggressive on the course, and I'll pull out driver whenever I can, because ultimately the goal is to make my driver a very accurate club, and obviously the more accurate that club becomes, the more I'll be able to use it. So I think you guys can expect to see me hitting driver more often in the future, because I've been putting in so much work learning how to hit it straight. So that is definitely something to look forward to in the future. And I will be uploading much more frequently. This winter, my plan is to upload 5 to 6 times a week. So get ready for that. I'm going to be really taking YouTube seriously, and I'm also going to be taking golf very seriously. And we'll see what comes of it. So 5 to 6 times a week is my plan, and I hope you guys are up for that, because I'm definitely up for it. So hit a really good wedge in here. You can see stuck it pretty close. And this was definitely a shot it was probably one of my best shots of the day. And this is the part of my game, according to my stat keeping app, that me and my coach are trying to tighten up. And for those of you who don't know, my coach is Bernie Najar out of Caves Valley. And the biggest thing, in a very glaring weak point, and I actually checked my stats last night on this. And yes, that's a weak point too. But man, that was a bad putt. But what we found was that I have a very, very bad weak point from about 90 to 130 yards. Inside of that, I'm pretty solid. Outside of that, I'm pretty solid. But my proximity to the hole in that range is just not good, and I'm losing a lot of shots. And this is the first time I've ever approached the improvement of my golf game with very systematic stats. And it's really eye-opening, because now that I have the knowledge of where I'm gaining and losing shots, it's really filling a big hole and a big gap in knowledge that I had as a young junior. And the reason I'm very confident that I will be successful in my pursuit of pro golf, or at the very least become a very elite golfer, better than I've ever been, is because when I was younger, I never thought about the game in terms of strokes gained and strokes lost. I would think of it as, oh, I just made a bogey, that sucks. I wouldn't be saying to myself, okay, I hit a good tee shot, and I only had 88 yards left in the middle of the fairway, and then I hit my shot long, and then I hit a poor chip and missed a putt. I'd be thinking, oh, I just made bogey. But a bogey doesn't tell you much. And but knowing where you're losing your shots tells you a heck of a lot more. And so I would know that I need to work on my wedges, and also a little bit of my putter. But the glaring weak point there would have been my wedge shot in that example. And that was just a hypothetical example. Well, actually not hypothetical, because I was actually something that happened earlier today in my stat keeping, but I just figured that'd be something interesting to bring up. Because for everyone who wants to improve at golf, you need to know what your blind spots are, and you need to know how to improve them. And putting in hours, simply, it doesn't matter. The amount of hours you practice means very little. Because I practice just as much, if not more, than anyone I knew. But what I've learned is my practice wasn't productive, or as productive as I could have been. And so now that I'm able to target my practice in a very specific way with a written plan every time I go to the course, it's become a lot more efficient and it's become a lot more effective. And I'm sure you guys have noticed my last video and in this video, I'm starting to tighten things up a little bit. And a lot of it has been because I'm much more cognizant of where my shots are going and what I'm doing wrong. And again, one of those, like that putt right there, I've been hitting about 250 putts a day on a pink string. And so there's two spikes and a string that attaches those two spikes. And when you put them down the green, it forms a line over the ball. And that gets you better at rolling the ball on the right intended line. And I've already started to notice that my starting line's getting a lot better. And all those pulled putts you guys definitely remind me of are starting to dwindle a little bit. But I'm also very aware of I have to be patient and I have to be consistent with my training before I see results. So I'm being patient and I'm putting in the work. And I'm sure over the coming months, the game will improve. And so this is a really fun hole right here. You can actually see where the tee was there, and I pulled it a bit, but this is almost pin high. And that's obviously the miss, because I could have probably carried it on the direct line at the hole, but I set myself up at the left edge of the green and put a bit of a draw swing on it so that it would turn away from the water. And this is a pretty good leave here. I know it looks kind of difficult because you can't see the pin, but I had a pretty good amount of green to work with, and it really wasn't that tough of a shot. And you should be seeing here in a minute. Yeah, I mean, I actually almost made this, but rolled a little bit past the hole. I have about a 6 or 7 footer here, a little right to left swinger. And this is a putt I've been working on a lot, focusing on starting it on the right line and not trying to pull it towards the hole. And this is a great example of what I'm trying to get better at doing. And the more of those I can make, obviously, you know, if I can hit my wedge close and make those kinds of putts, I'm going to be in pretty good shape. And this is one where I really let it go. I had a bit of a tailwind here, and I just hammered this. So sound up. I put a little extra on that. Got it up to 140 in the club, 208 on the ball. And, yeah, 378 yards in the air. That's what happens when you have a tailwind and you launch one high and you pure it. So I only had 139 yards left on this hole on the par 5. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like sometimes when I'm in this position, I actually put a lot of pressure on myself to capitalize on the shot, and it can sometimes get in your head a little bit. So you have to really, and that's another thing I'm working on. I'm actually looking into hiring a sports psychologist, as I know a substantial part of my improvement is going to come from my mental game and I guess my mentality on the golf course, and there's definitely room for improvement there as well. And so, obviously, a big part of a sports psychologist's job is to teach you how to keep your mind in a position where you're able to perform your best. And I know a lot of people say, oh, you know, it doesn't really matter what you're thinking on the course, and, you know, it's just mind games. Well, let me offer a suggestion. If you were, let's just say, you were driving down the highway and there was no cars, not really much anything going on, and you weren't thinking about crashing. And then all of a sudden, let's put you on that same highway with tons of cars, very tight borders on the edges of the roads, and then say for $1 million, if you can make it to this destination without crashing, you get $1 million. Now you're going to get a lot tenser, you're going to sweat a lot more, and you're going to be much more aware of where your car is. Versus when you're relaxed, you actually forget that you're driving. You're just so relaxed. And my point is that the mind controls the physiological reactions and performance of the body. And in a precision sport like golf, if your mind isn't in the right place, you will not be able to perform the motor functions needed to produce the shot at the best level you can, at the best of your ability. And so I think it's a very underrated part of the game that separates so many people from the PGA Tour versus the mini tours, and it's not really talked about. But that will be a significant part of my plan going forward because I continue to make progress in my game. By the way, that was a good putt right there. I really liked how I started that one on the right line. I know I didn't make it, but I mean, it was like a 25-footer, but it had a good chance. And when you're talking about that kind of distance, that's really all you can ask for. So I'm looking forward to making more strokes like that in the future. I'll definitely be putting in the reps for it. And I think with a good sports psychologist on my team and with Bernie as my coach, we go way back. And obviously my distance is a tremendous weapon, and the time and resources I have to work on my game, I think I have a chance. I don't want to set any goals for myself or time limits. All I want to do right now is work as efficiently as I can with the right people and improve as much as possible and see what happens. I don't know where my game will end up. I don't know what will happen in the future. But for the time being, my focus is just I'm putting the work in on the parts of my game that need to be shorn up to improve my game, doing my best to entertain you guys and be a consistent positive impact on your day, and help entertain you guys as best I can, and just see what happens. I'm really excited for this winter, and honestly more excited for this than I've been about anything for a very long time. I'm just excited to get to it and get to work more than anything, to be honest. And that's why I don't know. I've just been very. The time has been flying by at the golf course. I probably hit about 300 to 400 chips today, 300 to 400 putts, and 200 to 300 wedge shots inside of 150 yards. In fact, I spent about 8.5 to 9 hours at the golf course today, and I might have hit a shot that went over 150 yards maybe 20 times because I played 9 holes. But I'm really excited to see how things turn out. I'm going to be doing everything I can to bring my game up. And hopefully, I would love for you guys to be watching me on TV at some point. I don't know if that's possible. All I know is I'm going to work as hard as I can to try to make that happen, and we'll see how it goes. But I've been playing pretty solid here. Got a bit of an uphill chip, and left myself in a pretty tough spot here. I really thought this was going to be right on the money. It was right at the pin, and it just kind of dovetailed a bit at the end. I would have loved the opportunity to try to shoot a 4-under round for you guys, but I think that's going to come pretty quickly regardless. So have this putt for par to shoot a 33 on the backside, 3-under. Unfortunately, I pulled it a little bit, so I'll tap the one in for a 34. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.